It fits the profile, exactly what they needed. They needed a hero that can drop the back line, make Oracle's life a nightmare pretty much, and Wyvern, he is probably the best option that they had. One more time, PSG.LGD will go with Kunkka, same goes with the Spirit. I think Void Spirit has slightly better chances, because in the first game he got solo killed, and this time around, you know, with the shield, the different shield from Void Spirit, they upgraded the shield, and now it's going to be a bit better. Still liking what PSG.LGD got.
In theory, you know, GBK will have a better matchup, but concern is, I think that your safe lane might get exposed. This Necro into the 3 position for Faith Beyond is really nice here.
All right, well, that's going to be it coming out from us over here at the draft panel. We've got a very interesting game ahead of us. And speaking of interesting, we have a very interesting person who's ready to give us the last word.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the face of the man who has to make content around Herald gameplay. Everybody out there in the world, it's a rough life out there for all of us. But yeah, Necrophos.
Yes, so well put. Such an eloquent speaker, Jenkins. Thank you so much. All right, well.
Why is it us? Why us? What happened?
That's a short straw for everyone at the end of the day. It's fine here.
But we're going to get into this game number 2 now. Virtus Pro backs up against the wall. Need to find something here in the very end. As already out towards the mid lane, LGD well on their way to try and secure this game number 2. I got to say, man, I saw that Darkseer picked. Just jubilation. I love this hero. It's so awesome. And then immediately the Oracle came out, and it was just... it's such a tough matchup.
I can actually tell you something here.
Tell me.
Now, VP currently spamming the shame line of the beloved Sir Action Slacks. He did a winner's interview with Y. Did you hear what he said? He said...
He talked about Oracle.
He said, Y, when's the Oracle coming out, man? It's your favorite hero. And Y's like, you know, it's like it was gifted to him. There's one hero where you see it and you go, Oracle. Give me Oracle. It's Darkseer. And the reasoning for that, if you maybe haven't played so much DotA, we'll get to that after, in case there's an engagement here.
There might just be. Gotta be careful here by LGD. Roll in onto one, and GBK gets about here. Faith Beyond able to take the other. And just like that, we're off to the races. And already the Iron Shell.
Yes.
There it is.
There it was, ladies and gentlemen. So you saw there was an Iron Shell on Earth Spirit. Well, I guess we'll go to step 1. Iron Shell is a spell from Darkseer. He puts this little aura on you. It's a tiny little ball, and it damages heroes right next to you. Quite a bit of damage. And, you know, that's great. Earth Spirit, he likes to roll on top of people. He stuns them, he slows them, and he just keeps hitting them. Well, you know, Oracle, he has this lovely spell called Fortune's End right there. That can take off any Iron Shells that are on the Earth Spirit. It's a great counter in lane. That means that Darkseer, of course, if he's trying to Iron Shell creeps, whatever he's trying to Iron Shell, you can remove it as Oracle. And
it's pretty much the spell that you play around throughout all the time. And then later on as well, when you're playing as the Darkseer, if you're trying to kill people, it's all magical damage. Oracle spell Fate's Edict, incredibly good at mitigating that. And then the other thing is that it also takes off Surge. So every little bit of Darkseer pretty much is countered. But we'll see if they're still going to be able to have a decent time with them. The one part that's still going to be nice is getting a back wall off later on, and just the team fight presence that hero brings. But regardless, there's some other heroes.
You play this hero. Why'd they pick it?
It's great with Tiny. You know, you love to run in there.
Yeah, Surge Tiny, that's good.
Nightfall going to be enabled that much more, increasing farm potentially, increasing kill potential.
It is good with these position 4s that can on top people.
Nice.
Fortune's End or not, you know.
Absolutely.
It's a great spell.
We'll see how this ends up working out for them. Is Faith Beyond going to take a nice chunk of damage there? Nightfall, Kingslayer keeping that pressure on. You know, IO has seen a pretty big increase in play recently, it feels like. Particularly in the lead up to TI, it felt like maybe there's going to be a chance that we wouldn't see all that much of it, but now getting played consistently just as this core hero, rather core enabling hero that lets your position 1 show up to the fight even when they're on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, and of course, we always know there are teams that are known as like the IO teams, but a little bit of a difference of this TI, as IO is going to help Nightfall try and get first blood.
Oh, not quite going to be there. Q just a little bit too quickly up that mountain.
Very nice, but yeah, we're getting IO on teams that maybe aren't necessarily like known for playing it a whole lot. So that's what's made it a much more common pick. We're also seeing it flex between like the 5 and the 4. Of course, most teams tend to have like an IO player, but you're never quite sure how the laning step's going to go. And well, if you've watched TI for a long time, like Casey and those fans where she was discussing those olden days, IO Tiny's probably very familiar to you as one of the hallmark first like true hero combos right next to like Crystal Maiden Juggernaut that you're used to in Dota.
Yeah, that's something that just works really, really well together constantly, is why going to try and pull this wave to connect it with the other. So this is one of the things that you can try and do as Oracle is force the laning matchup, because normally what happens with Darkseer is you need to pull that wave back behind the tower, get a little bit of separation, and in the end, it is going to be a little bit of disruption. They pull the range creep away, and DM just going to have to hang on with these melee creeps here. Does get that XP a little bit shared there between him and Save, as the Lave will be pulled over to the side, and now trying to pressure back Y slightly with Save on this Earth Spirit.
And Y's doing such a great job of like holding that Fortune's End, right?
Yeah.
Because if that's gone, you know, that is a 15-second cooldown. ISL is only 9, so it could be some trouble, especially right now, as they actually go in on knowing that Fortune's End is down. So they're going to get half his HP. You can see how fast that can turn since he's hit level 3 on the Darkseer and has the 2 points in the Iron Shell.
Potentially a good amount of pressure, and you can see all across the map right now, it's LGD coming out ahead in the laning phase. Kunkka slightly up there.
We're here again, just like last game. Gonna try and find some advantages here.
The bottle, the rundown, nothing to say, pulls back, has the torrent onto Void Spirit. GPK only level 4 right now, and Y moving in does use the dissimilate to get up to the high ground. So VP able to dodge that gank as 2 supports rotated into his lane. And that opens up some pressure for the rest of Virtus Pro to force back Faith Beyond.
GPK again, though, going to be under pressure to try and set that earlier tempo, try and get them going in this game. Needs to have a better laning stage. I think it looks a little bit better than last game, but certainly, you know, versus the Kunkka, it can be tough. He just has a lot of advantages in the laning stage.
Look at that. Punishing the Cold Embrace. As soon as they use it, they run forward with the IO Tiny, start getting a couple free pot shots off, forces Faith Beyond back again. But yeah, GPK definitely the one that they're going to need to try and enable in this. Set the tempo with that Void Spirit, set up for kills with the IO Relocate. And he has, at times, stood out at what feels like the best player, you know, potentially in the tournament. But definitely was shut down to some extent last time in the early goings, was able to make a comeback happen and put some good performances together in that game 1.
He also has a lot more health this game, right? You have a Tiny. That is a hero that, of course, can scale very well with the Shard and the Echo Saber, but can also join in early for some engagements and potentially even like TP to turn around some plays if necessary, especially once that Relocate is going to be out there from the IO. So shouldn't be as much of an isolated need. Now, I thought GPK did a really good job doing that, controlling the middle of the map last game on the Ember. We'll see if he can do that again here to set up for the plays. Now last game, it was level 6 to level 5 and he went down in that pretty much same exchange. This time it will not be a solo kill for the enemy mid, and we're still looking for first blood here at 6 minutes.
Yeah, this one's been really interesting in that regard. Obviously, you've got sort of, to some extent, static lane matchups, but heroes that are very survivable. You've got a lot of healing going on. You know, on LGD's side, you've got Necro, Winter Wyvern, and Oracle, all are who about keeping people alive. And then, well, likewise, an Isle that just keeps people stacked up constantly, as Catapult Wave is going to be pressuring mid a little bit, and it looks like Y will move in and they get the quick finish off on that one. Nothing to say, head back home. XTP comes back, full resources.
Yeah, it's so hard to pressure the resources of a Kunkka.
There it is.
Pressure on the Q, and there, the first blood of game 2. going the way of Kingslayer.
Not necessarily who would have expected it. Instead, the move through and save. Gonna go down as well. Nothing to say. Claims that one as Y also chased down. So a flurry of action. Suddenly we're 3 kills deep.
Yeah, slow start. Now things are going to start popping off. And of course, someone who's very happy with this is probably DM, because that Oracle's long gone. He can lane a little bit more freely up top. And Ame still top of the board right now, just a little bit ahead of that Tiny. Well, as I said that, of course, you know, classic Casper. Tiny's going to jump on over there. But DM, you know, hard to track down this hero once you have the Surge available.
Yeah, that is a very defensive, nice build to be able to go for there. As GPK again hanging out towards mid lane. LGD, do they want to make any type of moves early? I mean, you've got Boat, obviously only the 1 point next at level 7, so the rotations feel like they might be a little bit tough for Kunkka until he gets a couple more levels.
I think they're just fully ready to match any sort of aggressive plays from Virtus.Pro.
Nice dodge. Nothing to say. Not going to get by the 8th Remnant. Now, Boat comes down, kills off Kingslayer. LGD punishing the aggression from Virtus.Pro
as well.
Oh, tries to get away, but the Monkey King a bit too quick on that as Ame finds the finish on DM.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit too good of a start up here on this Monkey King. Treads and the Orb. Now it's going to become a tough place for DM to come back to, and when a Darkseer loses the ability to freely go to lane, they have some problems, right?
True.
Like, you can try and like smoke with someone and go for an Iron Shell gank, but the hero likes to be greedy. You like to play in that same zone as like a Beastmaster or a Venomancer and kind of keep pushing out that wave and getting a lot of gold. So he's just going to TP right back up here. Check for wards to see if that's what was the problem last time, but doesn't get lucky. That feels real bad. Yeah. Clearly, I only died because they had wards.
All right.
I mean, it can't be that, you know, they outskilled me.
I mean, Ame is, you know, he was reading those movements and was able to catch him pretty well on that Monkey King. Orb of Corrosion already done now, and going into the Echo Saber, so he is going to be quite stacked up.
And a classic play. Now, if they're paying attention on that ward, he just walked back and Iron Shelled this Void Spirit who smoked. Looks like White quite noticed, though, or maybe perhaps he was
nicely played there to break off the 8th Remnant, but it didn't matter in the end. Still goes down.
I think he knew. By the way, he walked in there.
Yeah, he was very prepared for that jump. And almost was able to get himself out as well. Would have at least forced one more jump there.
Yeah, I mean, he even saw the ward get placed on the pillar, right? So
yeah,
was well aware of the situation.
And this is a nice move, I think, by Virtus.Pro. Rotate into that Darkseer's lane, try and force the pressure onto that tier 1 tower and enable your core GPK to move around and try and get some kills. But Kingslayer going to be caught again down bottom, not quite able to get that tether off to Nightfall. And also going to get the D ward. Man, LGD are just everywhere. They are so on top of each one of these moves.
I feel like they're just in their head. Like, I think that they do a really good job of understanding what you need to do to come back in the game. And it's very easy for us to see this kind of plays when we have the bird's eye view. But I feel like their insight into, like, you know, what would I do if my Darkseer is having a bad lane? I would smoke to him so I can get Iron Shell and we try and kill the carry, right?
And then they catch him on the second side of it. DM tries to get out of there, drops the wall, but to no avail, will end up falling. Every single move that Virtus.Pro has made, it feels like, has been countered by LGD.
Yeah, they're getting the big blocks out. You know, they're just throwing up some lofty little shots to the basket. It's the big old slam down from LGD. Get out of my face.
GPK, though, does not want to be denied this pressure. Moves down bottom, and again, LGD, they back away. They're prepped, they're ready. But this is what we saw from them, at least in the previous game, that did start to look kind of well, was invading the jungle.
It's so scary coming into this jungle, though. Like, I feel like these heroes are terrifying. A Necrophos, you try and kill him, maybe he just turns, gets you with a Scythe, right? The big heal up with the Ghost Shroud, that could go poorly. You're going to have the Rum buff on top there, too. Then there's the Winter's Curse turnaround plays. Like, I feel like Virtus.Pro need to make these aggressive plays, but the punishing heroes are definitely there from LGD.
And you can see the way they want to play aggro, but in a moment, they walk forward. X is going to be used, not going to connect. Faith Beyond jumped off, but the turn! Oh, GPK messed around and found out. Faith Beyond.
Where's the respect for the Scythe?
It just takes him down. Roll afterwards, tries to find the back line. They catch now one of the Oracle. That's a good one to get. Toss afterwards, Magnetize doing a good amount of damage, but it's not enough. The heal comes out. And just like that, everything falling apart for VP yet again. Nightfall slowed, but they got bigger fish to fry as they're heading back towards mid to take the tower.
Catapult still just heaving away. Make it nice and easy for LGD. And, well, I mean, when you see the smoke get purchased from Y right there, too, and that's going to be flying out, you know. They're just moving, right?
Yeah.
They want to keep up this pressure.
Man, who can stop LGD? This Virtus Pro team looked like it could have been the ones, but this game number one, everything's starting to go back and forth, but in the end was constantly into the favor of LG. And now this game number two, it looks like they've got everything ready. And they're constantly prepped. Virtus Pro, they need a comeback. And thankfully, they do have Darkseer, which is a good hero for it, with the vac wall combos. But they need to get into those items first.
Darkseer combos. IO Tiny. Maybe there'll be something there, but they got some items first. And right now, I mean, GBK trying to look towards a straight Ags? That's going to be a ways away. That's a tall order. No Yules. I mean, pretty rough this game to go for the Yules. Doesn't really save you from a whole lot. Lots of punishes when you come down. And again, so that's a punish. DM's gone.
Takes is one.
I like the friendly tips of boosting up your own team. Can I just say?
That's true.
Those are nice. We don't get enough of those.
No,
motivate.
Right. Motivation. You know, there's
they're not as much fun though, are they?
Well, I mean,
yeah, well,
I don't want to say
it's unfortunate. It's just the reality.
I think right now, though, I mean, LGD can do what they want. Friendly tips or offensive tips. They're choosing to pump up their own team. As Nightfall going to take these Ancients. The only core right now that's ahead of another core from LGD.
Is under attack.
And trying to get in towards that big item after the Echo Saber. Save nearby as well. They're just trying to hold on to some ground. And get DM some time. Only level 8 on this Darkseer.
Yeah, he's going to need some help. He's definitely not the playmaker out of the Tri-Core right now with the start that he's had. So going to be relying on the Shadow Blade from the Tiny alongside the Relocates, as well as just the Void Spirit and the nature of how that hero operates. And I say GPK, knowing that he has to get involved a little bit earlier, will just straight up buy a Kaya, not going to be able to go for a bigger ticket item.
And he's going to do a little hunt in there. Sees the rotation coming from Faith Beyond. They have a Boundless Strike if they want to use it.
Got to watch that level 10 talent. Has the bonus range on the scythe.
Yeah. It's a little bit bigger than I think most people expect. Obviously, that talent being added relatively recently and can catch somebody off guard. But 3 to 8, and you can see already very much into the favor of LG, though certainly Virtus Pro not out of it. All they need to do is find those first set of items, hit a power spike, try and take that perfect fight.
They have a lot of late game potential, but I do think that LGD are just, they see their timing. They're just looking for BKBs on the Kunkka as well as the Monkey King. They're going to start pushing forward. That'll all be also guarded by a pipe on this Necrophos. So magical damage going to be pretty poor versus this lineup. And look at the heroes of Virtus Pro.
Yeah.
It's like all magic, except for when Nightfall gets those big items and starts swinging.
Maybe they can catch something before that pipe comes online and starts making a difference. Thank you. Drops it, spots it, sees him, wants to interrupt this, and, well, the Abatos will turn into a quick kill. But can they get any more afterwards? That was a bit of a freebie.
Zenkyu's crazy. He just...
They're thinking about going for more here. TP's coming in. Nightfall right there on top of him. Y is out afterwards. DM just has to run away. Gonna try and relocate him out and does manage to get the escape. So it ends up being a trade right there of a 1-for-1 with likely an IO to die.
As long as GBK stays alive up here, this is okay.
Yeah.
All right. It does get X, but not going to find the combo. Oh,
that's
the freebie back down bottom. All right, we're good.
Yeah, so like you said, GPK able to get out. They lose the 2 supports and still getting some farm on their heroes, but you can see LGD taking the move now to constrict the map. Try and put some pressure on the bottom tier 2.
Yeah, I actually think that was kind of okay for Virtus Pro. In the state they're in, like there was 2 farming cores, time to get relocated out and just hit a bunch of creeps mid. Void Spirit's hitting creeps in the top lane. They only lose IO. Small victories here. That's the state of the game right now for Virtus Pro.
Gotta find the silver linings where you can. But 4 to 10, 16 minutes in. And Virtus Pro with the Shadow Blade done. DM getting up to level 9, so he's got 3 points up in Surge. They've got potential to catch people quickly. Rest of the team moving in afterwards. Why? Gonna pop the ulti. Now the turn, wall down, getting the slowdown, but they've already lost GPK. And Why just walks away. Oh man, if he gets out of here as well, nobody from LGD really is going to get punished with this, with the Wyvern already dead. Why now? Okay, the jump forward, wants to make it live. Avalanche tries to get away, but not quite going to get out.
At least they got
Kingslayer
that.
goes
That's
down.
victory, though. The original one's still there.
At Nightfall, he's got to run, got to hide, got to escape. TM TP's out right underneath that tree. And just like that, they managed to mostly escape. Oh,
He got the pole, remember?
Yeah, good. And there's the roll away.
Monkey.
Nicely played. Finds. Oh no! With the winner's cards and turn around. No, they can't quite catch him. Almost got him there. Able to escape by the skin of his teeth. Save out.
Well, they've stabilized at the very least, right? Positive stuff here for Virtus.pro. They're keeping the lead relatively the same here for LGD, but it is still a lead nonetheless. And first item delivered out to DM. Just hit the mech. Wants to go for that Aghanim Scepter, which kind of functions like a Midas in some regards, and that like really sometimes you'll see them like rush it, so like just like ramp their gold. But obviously in this game, they really just need the multiple ion shells and to actually try and live in these fights.
Make sure they don't get dispelled as well. So that Earth Spirit silence is going to become so key in these ones. If you can find that Oracle.
You can see it right there. It's just such a low level, right?
Yeah.
Not much that he can do. They can't burst him fast enough without their full focus.
Incredibly difficult game for Virtus.pro. But not impossible. Mech done, but he's going to need that and a little bit more to get out of this one, and didn't stand a chance. Man, they are just going one by one there. Save falls down. I'm able to get him.
That Monkey King virus gets some serious reach.
PSG.LGD. They came in as the favorites of the tournament. They haven't disappointed yet, and very close to continuing on in this upper bracket, carrying an upper bracket finals appearance at the very least.
They got that walk in game too. The way they're moving around this map, I see like completely fearless. Game one, using their vision a lot more, kind of following the vision. Now they just, I don't know, they feel kind of invincible. I feel like they're kind of getting a little bit disrespectful here in their movements here, and I don't even think they're going to get punished.
Getting everything they want.
Look at this ward just sitting under it up top right now for nothing to say. He's begging them to come fight him. It's like, I'm just going to kill your creep waves so they leave your base. You got tier 1, you got tier 2. I don't care.
He's just out
That's
there.
fine. You don't have a lane.
He does not appear to care even a little bit. Eighth Remnant not going to connect on nothing to say.
And this smoke, they're going to see the Io's courier. They're not going to kill it. They want the prize.
And Kingslayer there to break the smoke, but
they ping, they know.
Jump forward, they find the bigger target. The Tiny is there. Oh, they're gonna wait, so that way he can't relocate out of there. They focus down Kingslayer.
Nightfall, though. He wants to make the big play. He comes back in.
A chance. Avatar's dead onto one, but he might get punished for this one. Can he find his way out of there? Fate Beyond chasing, no Reaper sight, but in the end, they get the double.
Well, he had no TP. He would have had to run all the way home. I guess he was just trying to find something a little bit bigger.
An X. GPK finds the Remnant. Assimilate gets him away.
Bottom lane DM. Oh, the monkey.
He knows. Oh my God. Is that an offlaner? Excuse me? What? I know they took the armor away from Mech, but holy moly. There's the extended one that they had before. And now they find save, kill him off too. This is a thrashing in game number 2.
It's like a 600 damage boundless strike on that Darkseer. Just gone.
My goodness. Well, tough stuff indeed. As 2 to 8, rather 7 to 18. That's how it's looking to me. Wow. That's how it felt.
Is that your odds?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? It's probably pretty accurate, I would say.
Around those range.
That might be a little bit generous. Maybe less like, 8, more like 8% sort of deal.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
7. I checked first. I cheated. I'm not going to.
Unbelievable.
Can't lie to the people,
Well, nonetheless, the way that Virtus Pro win this game, though the odds of it happening have gone down, the method remains the same. Take a big fight with Darkseer, try and get that silence onto Oracle, and of course it all starts with a smoke like this. Can they do it though?
I mean, the last time we were in a situation like this, we'd seen bigger comebacks, and we saw the comeback.
That's true.
You know, we've had it happen here in the bracket.
AC is
can be done.
They run in, find ZinQ. That's an opening to get.
Look, he's worth 5K. Now it's an 8K lead. See, that's how it works. It's just math, guys.
Right,
it's fine.
Easy. And they find the second.
4,200.
That's not bad either.
Is it getting subtracted, though?
Can they get him? Why? Down low dead. BKB, there's the wall down onto both of them. Is this an opportunity here? LGD taking down the supports first, but he still hits pretty hard. GPK wanting to find an opening. BKB is out, and now there's the Yule Scepter lift up on to TM. He's got to find a way out of this one. The X pulls him back in and just eviscerates him afterwards, and that is the problem. The supports, they die, but they come back pretty quick afterwards on the respawn.
Virtus Pro just trying to keep the mentality in this one, trying to keep themselves feeling good. Still spamming those voice lines, you know, slay together, win together, lose together.
Dire's bottom tower is under
One of those three looking the most likely here for sure. As they head into the Roach pit here, the Aegis will be claimed now from LG.
And there it is, gets picked up by Ame. As down towards mid, they will run next. GPK pushing out the lane and save with them. If there's an opportunity to find a pickoff, that's the best bet for the two heroes to find it. And I mean, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about it. Like Kyle talked about it in the draft panel. He saw it as soon as it came out. That Oracle pick into Darkseer completely destroyed his game, and currently is the only core that's not really feeling like a core. It's just a tough matchup.
It's frustrating because Darkseer always wants this pairing, and so it feels like it's something that would be really good to go in that phase of the draft. When you have to pick two heroes in a row, you just show this strong, like, essentially like a draft combo that's just like, yeah, I mean, you know that you're going to pick some sort of a 4 with the Darkseer anyway, so seeing it just like right together, it slides in there pretty well, but if you leave that Oracle in, it's going to hurt. Now at the same time, you can't just ban Oracle or they're just going to ban Darkseer.
True enough. Well, we see ourselves down a good amount. They actually used the relocate there for Tiny, so just ensuring that he doesn't go down as Save pulls the next creep wave. They need to buy time.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Time to practice all of your stall tactics right now for Virtus Pro. This is the upper bracket. Of course, they'll still survive if they lose this one, and well, you're never going to get better practice than this in terms of trying to delay a game that feels like it's at its worst. LGD, main stage, TI. You might as well get some experience here.
True enough.
Perhaps you can just do it.
Maybe. There's a chance.
There's always a chance.
Well, an X. There's a chance they might catch him here. Torrent. Save goes for the kick and roll. And the TP out. Little slick. Just barely get out of there. This X was cooldown, I believe.
Are scanning.
Just getting there, yeah.
Look at this. They're hyping each other up.
Yeah,
Hey, look at that. You kicked him out of there. Got away. Any delay is good.
Great. Woohoo.
There it is. That's the good vibes.
Yeah, it's the good vibe squad here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. And send all your positive energy to Virtus Pro. They need it right about now.
Oh, silence. Save. Tries to go for the rollaway. That time, not quite going to happen.
All right, but while this is happening, look at the other 4 Radiant heroes.
That's all right.
They're hitting creeps.
Pushing out all the map.
Even Isles getting all the action. Kingslayer's just like, yeah.
He's underneath the
I'm
ward
under
right
a
now.
ward near Ancients. Yeah. I'm going to save my Tiny. Gets into trouble.
Meantime.
Rax? Who needs Rax? We can't fight this anyway. Take them. We don't want them.
Gonna take down those mid-racks.
Lazy creeps can't even defend the base.
We're doing the real work down there.
Oh, you think we care about our bottom lane? Okay, yeah, maybe we do.
And they're going to show up for this
Guys,
one.
should we fight this one?
Yeah. The smoke up. Virtus Pro. What can they do here to stop this? Potential round 2. The toss-back play could be something to look for. Or the rollback. Vacuum only onto one. Wall afterwards not doing nearly enough. They did find that Oracle, but can't quite get the kill. And just like that, why it's going to live through it. A godlike spree. And, well, you turn around with the Winter's Curse. The Torrent afterwards. One by one they fall, and LGD will not be denied. This team has been hell and back. They're trying to finish this one off here. This upper bracket match, trying to get to that upper bracket finals. They turn on to GPK as well, finish off that rack. Still one more tier 2 tower remaining, but LGD, they want to close this one out right now.
Why with the Blink Lions? He's on his march to another Aegis, of course.
Oh, yes.
Remembering his old friend who was there the last
There
time.
it is. GG is called. We got 2 teams in the upper bracket finals that are looking unstoppable, and LGD is one of them.
Are they the unstoppable object or the immovable force? I hear Insania always talking about Team Secret and the wall.
That's right.
They must be the immovable force, so this must be the unstoppable one.
And of course, with this 2-0 victory, got a great matchup coming up very soon, and Virtus.Pro going to have to head on back to the drawing board, figure out what they want to do as they try and continue their run as well in that lower bracket. But certainly the story here and the story for tonight for me is LGD just looks so good. They